All righty, folks. The housing market has bottomed perhaps in transactions right around 4 million bucks. We got mortgage data was up this morning, even though rates were higher. I personally think we're kind of bouncing around the bottom finally of transactions. What this means for the lending market, though, is there's going to be a lot less lenders, right? The lending market was primed for 6.5 million purchases, 4 or 5 million refinances. That is clearly not going to be happening in the next year. So I expect, unfortunately, for some of you out there, to have your lender leave you at the altar. I expect to hear dozens, if not hundreds, of investors have a deal in the pipeline. Their mortgage broker will whisper sweet nothings in their ear and then not show up when it's time for the money to come. So I strongly suggest people reach out to multiple lenders, create multiple files and multiple relationships. One of the ones that is for me is Velocity Mortgage. And this gentleman right here, Stephen Dow from Velocity Mortgage, has helped me out personally a couple of different times. So Stephen, do me a favor, do the marketing spiel, and then we'll get into why people need to protect themselves.
Certainly. Again, although I worked very happily for a super stable and not going anywhere lender by the name of Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So let's get it going.
Yeah, so I think these are all going to be my opinions. These are my words, not yours. But there's a lot of non-QM lenders that rely on what's called warehouse lines. And warehouse lines are these things that are open. They're pretty easy to get when the economy is good. Anybody and their brother could start a fund or do these in 2020 and 2021. I hear these things are being shut down. I hear they're being cut. I hear their terms are being adjusted. And it can happen in a moment's notice. For example, First Republic Bank yesterday, what was it today? Or I guess it was Monday, had some horrible earnings. And we're already seeing rates down in the bigger market. I actually think there's more stress in the lending market. So investors, please heed my advice. Don't rely on one lender. Get multiple. Get different, right? Velocity Mortgage is a different animal, right? They're publicly traded. It's just so talk about Velocity being different and just what's going on in the world of lending.
Well, I mean, overall, we're seeing it firsthand as well because, like you had mentioned, some of these lenders are tightening up. Some of their guidelines are changing, depending upon whatever particular reason, like you were stating, potential, tightening or quantitative tightening, either from the warehouse lines or just overall investors are just, a little skittish. So we're seeing it as far as their fallout, because again, I say this many times, it's, our loan isn't something you normally start with. It's something you kind of end up with in many cases because people just go through the normal evolution of applying for financing. You go conventional first, you fall out of that. Now you can then maybe drop into these alternative bank statement programs. If you don't fall, if you don't do that, then maybe a DSCR program or, asset depletion, anything that's kind of like coming out after, rates kind of went up and the refi market kind of dried up. So these lenders are having to be forced to look to alternative products to get business. For us, it hasn't really been too bad of a situation to where our product's a little different. Again, we're not looking at the same metrics, so it works for us. What falls out from many other lenders doesn't with us. And of course, I strongly believe also upper management leadership in this company has never steered us wrong. I mean, I'm going on almost 10 years here, and so I think that it starts from the top as far as the stability of the company and how it's ran. But not to give away too much information, but we're very strong.
Okay.
We're not going anywhere anytime soon. Loans are performing well. Yeah, I mean, we're on pace to do pretty well still this year, even with the increase in rates. But we're in a different lane.
Yeah, that's the key. I think you brought it to me way back when, which I think is over 2 years ago when we started talking that Velocity is a make sense lender, right? And that's a cute saying, but now we've been in this a while. You've done deals with me, and again, it's about the deal, right?
Right.
And you have a couple of programs that you're pretty proud of. We talked about the ARV Pro earlier and others, and I think more investors need to reach out. They, like you said, right? You may not be plan A for a lot of people, but you're not a bad plan B.
I might not even be, or even I might not even be plan B. I could be C or D, and that's fine because we're kind of used as a problem solver in a sense, because usually that's when we have to kind of step in when all else fails, that's when we can kind of typically step in and figure out a solution to some degree, depending upon the overall circumstances. Because we're not looking at the, tax returns, pay stubs, or W-2, so it's not so much on what you're making, and even in some cases for residential, it's not even what the property's going to be making off of it. And then we're not looking at your debt as well. Those metrics are usually the main reasons as to why the loan would die or be denied. So outside of just the FICO score not coming in at what we need, as far as the minimum 650 or higher, obviously the higher the FICO, the better the rate. Sure. And just the value to come in as far as the final accepted appraised value to just support your desired loan terms, that's usually all we're really looking for. So skin in the game, obviously, is a little bit higher because again, that's the trade-off. But for us, that's what kind of makes our world go round, is the skin in the game. We found that just along, even if we don't verify their income, those are less likely to default because they've got so much equity in the property. Right. So, just through performance alone, our default rates are typically even better than Fannie Freddie, loans where they're verifying income, because even though you can verify their income, doesn't mean they're going to guarantee to pay you the loan back.
Yeah, no, this is really important. I think being a make sense lender, people need to reach out because you could be a great plan B or plan C.
Agreed.
And again, you're also bringing new stuff. We talked about in video number 1, a California only currently, but people need to email you because we're going to blow it up to all 50 states. Second, 8% interest only. Just to remind you of that, in case people haven't reached out, they need to reach out. But it's just, and again, you even have examples of performing in the luxury market, right? Luxury 1 through 4, which is eye-opening. So talk about how that might be a fit for some people if they find a deal in the luxury market, which I'm not doing, or don't recommend people doing, but people do their own thing all the time.
For sure. I mean, we're almost ready to go to docs with a particular returning repeat client from the one rental at a time family. And he found it very simple because, again, no tax return, no pay stub, no W-2, and it doesn't, and no DSCR up to, 2
is this
2 million,
is this a vacation rental or Airbnb or what is it?
Yes, actually, it is going to be a vacation rental. As far as Airbnb, I mean, he owns this specific bar. Has got the track record, got multiple properties throughout the United States. So he was easy. No,
I think that's because again, I'm trying to tie, because I'm looking for opportunity. Right. And I've told you I'm trying to buy Park Place or Boardwalk.
Right.
There actually might be, because Anna Kelly, who talks to me all the time, is like tier A, whatever they're called, tier 1 properties. If you could get the right deal structure in a market that is air or short-term rental friendly, like there's a history, they're not going to zone it out by the city. Right. It might be the time to put some deals together. So, I mean, if you have a track record, if that's where you play, and you get a deal on, Park Place or Boardwalk, why not? Could make a lot of sense, I think.
He definitely knows his market because everything cash flows. He's got great equity position in most of his portfolio. So, and he's been doing it quite some time. So I would imagine he kind of knows what he's talking about. It is in a vacation area. It's in Florida, right by the beach. I mean, literally 1 block away, you can walk to the sand. Nice. And so, it made it easy because he's a legitimate investor. He doesn't want a bunch of, loans dragging on his FICO scores. So he does love our product in the sense of the ease of use. It happens quickly. It was under 2 weeks. Well, actually, it's about a little over 2 weeks right about now. The only reason why we had to extend the time is there was some misunderstanding as far as where the credit. Anyway,
deal structure stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
So again, I think that's interesting. I mean, one of the things, I've been trying to buy a long-term rental. I might actually talk to Anna Kelly about that kind of, waterfront stuff. Maybe I need to explore. Again, I'm trying to improve, trying to get better, look at new stuff. So this will be some interesting times. If somebody wanted to talk about this program or run some numbers with you, how should they reach out?
Just email me to sdao@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT, that's 2 A's, for one rent all the time, just to make it past the firewall. Subject or the body of the email, maybe a brief description, what you're looking for, property address would be great, your mid-FICO score, and the best phone number to reach you at, typically 24 to 48 hours. I'll be in touch.
There you go, buddy. Thank you so much.